Let's just rewind slightly. Singapore, your race didn't go very well, but I want to know what your impression was of the circuit and of the event as a whole.
Yeah, I mean, overall, I think was a good track to be driving because I know it's a straight circuit and it's very hard like Monaco, but I think the difference in Singapore is there's some places quite wide and there's some place you actually can overtake. But yeah, in fact, the race with the weather compromised a little bit all that. But yeah, overall, I really like it. But it's tough for the drivers because we do a lot of physical preparation, but then the humidity after every session you really felt it, like your body weight is just going down and down every session you do. So yeah, it's an intense week, but I really enjoyed it. And there was a lot of crowd. Like I was quite surprised how many people was watching. So it was good.
Did you think there were people in the crowd, as there were at Melbourne earlier in the year, that were particularly there to support you?
Yeah, I mean, there's quite a lot of people supporting me because I saw a lot of people posting about like on the track and I don't know, try to find me or my signature on there. So it's great to see them. And yes, like I said, I think it's another race that I really felt home. Like Melbourne, because Melbourne is a crazy one, but for me it was a huge surprise in Melbourne because I didn't expect to have that many people. But then walking on the street and I realized the whole city, is have a lot of people from my home. So, and then yeah, to see that again in Singapore is good because when you go Asian races, it's nice to see them.
Exactly.
Even though it's not a home race, but still it's good to have them there.
Have you raced there before at Suzuka?
No, it's all first time now and 2 Abu Dhabis.
And what about your first impression when you arrived at the racetrack? How do you feel about it?
Yeah, I feel it's pretty good. I think the fans is already there on Thursday, so it's not many. It's like one of the race. Like you feel the fans will really engage with motorsports, so it's good. But yeah, I like the track. It's obviously first time will be in the rain, but I think in the dry is super cool.
Yeah, well, that's great. You've got many fans, Joe, and we asked fans to send in questions because my questions aren't very good, and they've provided much better questions. I'd like to ask you some of them, starting with talking about this season. Anthony Cullen asked, "What's been your favourite circuit to drive so far this year?"
For me, like my favorite track all time is Silverstone, and let's say looking at the new tracks. Like the new tracks I've been to so far this year. Let's say I really like Montreal because this track is quite tough, especially with the curve and it's different. So it's like a racetrack, but like with a little bit of straight circuit involved. So I really like that because you are very close to the wall and the track is like very sturdy, but also I think it helps when I had my best finish there. So of course the track better. So,
yeah, 8th place, right, in Canada?
Yeah.
Yeah, nice one. And if you could add one track to 2023 that's not on the schedule for 23, is there one that you'd like to race on next year in a Formula One car?
It's hard because like
there's already 24, right? So
yeah, it's already 24. I don't know if I add one, I need to delete one because it's too many otherwise. But no, I couldn't think straight what's not being there. But overall, I think they did a good job to keep all the like very classic tracks because I'm just happy that if you ask this year, I would say Shanghai, but it's back then, so there's not much more I would like to ask. You
mentioned Silverstone before. We had a question from JWZ asking whether anything changed in your mentality after the crash at Silverstone.
I mean, mentality side not, but I think of course it changed a little bit because for sure when you have a huge shunt, nothing will stay exactly the same for that week remaining after because we have straight back to the racing, But overall, I think I did a quick recover, let's say, because I was in a good rhythm until Silverstone, then had a crash, and Austria, let's say, is a sprint qualify. That was tough for me to be straight back in form, So it takes me like a week to be back again. So I was happy, let's say, in the Budapest weekend, I get, the potential back from, where it started. So it takes a little bit of time, but actually in the crash, there was no fear left, forwards from that. So it was the most important part, rather than, you know, the whole car was destroyed, so everything have to be rebuilt differently. But trying to, you know, have the same feeling was a tough one to get the balance right. But apart from that, it was all fine.
You've had a lot of bad luck this season. I think you've had 5 DNFs, non-classifications. That's more than any other driver. So you've had more bad luck. Ted Lee is asking whether you might consider going to a temple and praying for good luck.
I'm okay with that. I mean, of course, I think it happens sometimes. You know, you have your tough year or tough moments, but overall, I think this year, even though I had some bad luck, but still, like, for example, debut, you know, I scored points, especially last lap put me into top 10. And then, you know, it happens, you know, the luck is always, it doesn't stay with the driver all the time, but you just like try to find a compromise. But let's say this year's been, if you think it's unlucky, the Silverstone question might be lucky to be walking off, like absolutely fine. So if you think that way, so from my side, just keep going, and yeah, everything will come together. Like use that first year as just gaining experience, gaining a bit of everything. Hopefully next year can be a bit more, like, say, stabilized, not too much like happening, and not finishing the race.
So looking at your season so far this year, you've had 3 points finishes: Bahrain, Canada P8, Italy P10 again, qualified 9th in Canada and Britain. And Jessie Young, who saw you in Melbourne, she says ni hao, she asks you, how would you rate or rank your season, maybe a score out of 10 so far?
Yeah, I'll give it a 7. I think been asked quite a lot of times. So yeah, 7. I think in terms of performance, it's been good. In terms of, like, let's say, luck is, like you said, not being the greatest, and there's some occasions that you know, I was quite well, like, under control in the points. For example, I think Miami, I'll be definitely in the points, and I was going through the field quite quickly with it. And then also, like, Baku, I was in the points before everything, like, have to stop the car. So I feel like in that side, the results didn't show exactly the whole potential I got. But even though I was happy that people see it, the speed I was able to achieve already quite early on. So I'm happy in that side. And then, yeah, there's a few things I have to improve as a driver, but that just come with a bit of time. So yeah, 7 is a good one.
7 out of 10, good one. And you've signed, of course, it's been announced you're racing again with the team in 2023. That's quite early that you've had that confirmed. Does it change anything in terms of your approach now for the rest of this year?
I mean, like, the overall approach, it don't change, but it's more like the feeling from a driver perspective is nicer, because when you're always waiting, especially when you're coming to the end of the season, waiting for your future, is not the nicest thing to have. So in one side, this is gone out of it's something I'm thinking. I don't need to think about it anymore. So I just try to, you know, do the best and still keep working with the crew I got, because knowing that they will be also together for the following year. So it's great to have that. Yeah. And yeah, for me, it's good to have that, especially as a rookie. You have the team have a good commitment for your future. It means a lot, and obviously you're doing something right that the team is happy with.
Absolutely, doing lots of things right. Okay, let's talk about food. Shi Yun asks, what's your go-to when you're ordering bubble tea? What's your order?
I just go for classic milk bubble tea, but yeah, let's say bubble tea I like it, but I don't drink it that much. I think I drink maybe once in a month. Let's say I don't drink it for daily. It's not good for your health, because try to keep it low sugar as well when I order it. So,
and then a question from Lee is asking, when you're eating hot pot, which seasoning do you prefer? Sesame sauce, clear oil, or dry fish?
I think sesame is a good one, but you need to mix a little bit with, like, soy sauce and a little bit of spicy together. So yeah. Otherwise it became too sticky. You know, I do it all myself, so I have like a good handmade, homemade, like, sauce I can do while I'm in the hot pot restaurants. So.
Great. I have to join you. That's exactly how I like mine. Sesame sauce with some nice chili in it. Fantastic. Let's talk about fashion and music. Mary is asking, or Mary says, first of all, that she loved the way you look in Hungary and Silverstone with your Prada outfit. Immaculate, she asks. And she's asking if you can name your top 3 fashion labels.
That's a tough one, because you know, I have a relationship together with a partnership with Prada this year. So let's say Prada is on the list. I think let's say a bit more different. I really like Rick Owens. I don't know if you know that. It's like the very like big boots I had in Melbourne. You know, these black white ones, because I like black dress. So overall I like to just like really black and white. So yeah, that's really something I like.
Well, let's talk a little bit about Prada then. What do you like about the Prada clothing and the look?
Yeah, I think it's very quite unique design, and then they keep it quite simple, let's say. You know, they have some very cool stuff, but overall, like especially in the early days, they was mainly focused on like black or white stuff. So this is something I really like to dress. You know, I like to dress most of the time all black. It's because it looks cool. And then yeah, I think Prada has a perfect combination in that sense. And the other hand, I think it's great to, let's say, try to wear the stuff I would usually wear in real life. You know, so people really appreciate it. I think it's looking at how people, you know, like respond from this shit, because I don't wear the stuff just for example, if it's like for a fashion show, I just wear something like I actually can wear in the real life, so people can, you know, if they have the budget or something, they can buy the same look, you know, if they're happy, not like something completely out of the picture. So I just keep it quite simple.
It's nice, very nice. Haibara Zhao is asking, who is your favorite rapper?
I mean, it's firstly it's Guy. It's the guy from the Chinese singer. So he's a like a rapper. Yeah, and then let's say there's quite a lot of other people, but they all in, like the name is all in Chinese, because I always listen to mainly Chinese music. So yeah, if you want like a global rapper, let's say Eminem was the first rapper I listened to since like 6 years ago. So that was like the first rap. So yeah, let's say Eminem has a good one, but it's too difficult to be.
Two more things. A lot of questions. 24 Champion and Mangguo are asking if you're planning to return to China at the end of the season. Any activities with the fans, to meet up with fans?
Yeah, I'm planning to go back, and also there will be some activities with some sponsorship, and yeah, I keep them updated, because I don't know yet when is happening these events, but yeah, there will be something definitely going around in the city of Shanghai.
So they should follow you on social media, and they'll find out about that.
Yeah, exactly.
Great.
Just have to wait a bit until
Kevin Jung is asking, what are you planning for when you first get onto the podium? Any particular plan other than drinking from your racing boot?
I mean, definitely I'm not planning to drink from my racing boots, because it's not kind of my kind of signature moves. But yeah, I haven't think about anything yet. But yeah, if I do that one day, I think that would be the least things I'll be worried about, or try to think what to do, because there'll be so much excitement just to be back on, you know, in the Formula One podium. So yeah, hopefully, let's say the podium comes soon, and then yeah, we can think about the others easier.
Excellent.